Hello there, everyone. It is, you know what time it is? Tarot Tuesday, okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to pick out a deck. Whatever main card is calling out to you first, that is going to be the centers in which we read. So, we have Saturn with the Isis deck, we have Uranus with the Native American deck, we have Mars with the Cloud deck for the Yang. We have Pluto for the cloud deck with the yin. We have Earth with the shaman deck. And we have Neptune with the dragon deck. And of course, I'm going to roll a couple dice here for the sun. We're going to roll them live. That way we know what is the energy that's going to be controlling everything here. We're going to leave everything exactly as it is. We're going that way, and that way. Okay, perfect. All right, so you guys got the cards that you want to pick out? Each card has a different set of numbers based off of the messages that you're going to be receiving. So let's get started. I'm being told to go first towards the Earth. Okay, so Earth has to do with foundations. You would have picked this deck of cards, okay? All blue, and here we have 5 cards. This has to do with our throat chakra, and that's going to be mostly affecting that blue dice up top right there, okay? So we're going to take another deep breath, and here we go. This card is telling you that you're about to step into a sense of power and that you're trying to overcome any temporary illusions that are found within you, okay? Particularly things that are tied to fear. Whenever we're making shifts, it is sometimes natural for us to experience this energy of like, oh, okay, what if this manifestation comes crumbling down, right? This is a card right now that's telling you do not focus on the dismantling of your manifestation and do not grow fearful with what's happening with your manifestation. 4 is an energy of listening to your intuition, and maybe you've already been getting these messages that you shouldn't be freaking out about it, that you have this fear. You need to just work on continuously letting it go. Find your method and work towards that method. That's the main card that's going to be running this earth center right here. So I'm going to actually hold it in another card. The second card here, the shaman, a second shaman, she's telling you that it's a moment for you to just be in alignment with the cosmos. Your greatest strength is the fact that you can align yourself with the cosmos. As you can see behind her in her temple, that's exactly what there is, the cosmos, the galaxies. And she's sitting there in her power, knowing how easily accessible the greater powers of the cosmos are. So sometimes when we're going through this experience of having fear of our manifestation, all we need to do is really find this power inside of ourselves saying, hey, we're in alignment with our cosmos, and all these fears are only things that I'm going to be putting and throwing into the cosmos if I don't get it together and I hold myself in alignment, okay? The next card is contemplation, all right? So 3 is telling you about creation, and as well, this card is telling you that sometimes you have to sit in your divine power so that you can manifest everything that you're looking for, so you can expand your energy work. So it's a very powerful card telling you that right now is a great time to meditate, to look within yourself, to expand yourselves with anything that might be causing you limitation, whether it's external or internal. It's a moment for you to connect with your power centers and understand that the fears are only temporary and that you are sitting in front of the stars. These 2 cards right here are very powerful because as you sit on the brink of the nexus point of our reality, whatever it is that you're projecting into that nexus point is what's going to be forcing itself to create. Again, this card right here is telling us about fear. Fear. Do not let fear hold you back. Particularly, fear is one of those things that's really important that you have because it does help you grow to a certain degree. But right now, you need to understand that we're in a moment where fear is not going to help you. There are powers at play, cosmic powers from deep space that are trying to keep you in a fear-like state. If you go fearful towards abundance, if you go fearful towards your safety, if you go fearful towards yourself, you will be feeding your energy to these entities that are looking for fear, okay? So right now is a moment for you to not only face your fear head on, but to also understand it, reason with it, and love it so you can dismantle it. This is a time right now where no fear should be holding you back from your ultimate manifestation, because these fears in the Earth Center are going to force you to have a very unbalanced foundation, okay? Finally, you have divine inspiration coming to you. You understand divine strength. You understand the ascension strength that is necessary to evolve and move forward in your reality. This card is super important for you because it's telling you that not only are you dealing with letting go of these issues, these fears, but that you can make them happen easily if you maintain yourself in your divine faith and your divine knowledge, that you know exactly what you need to do because you're always sitting at the cusp of the universe, okay? Concentrate your power in this style of knowing your internal strength, and you will overcome your fear, however it is necessary. Now, if you guys ended up picking this deck right here, we have the blue dice that is very in alignment with this deck right here. That blue dice is tied to the throat chakra and it's tied to Pluto. It's facing north. So right now you're going to be attaining a lot of inner knowledge that's going to help you evolve. Pluto has to do with changes, okay? You might also want to pay attention, if you picked out this deck, some of the messages that are in this yin deck, this Pluto deck, as they will give you more clarity as to what's going on in your reality. So everyone who is already going to be picking this Pluto deck, remember, you too are being affected by this dice primarily. Let's dive into the Pluto deck. The Pluto deck is showing us straight up, there is something in reality that is on a loop. There's something that you need to transcend. If you are not trying to transcend that energy, particularly in your subconscious, you are going to have a hard time shifting your truth. That blue dice is basically telling us about our shadow and our most authentic truth. So what is it you need to focus on? Emotional imbalance. If you are not open to yourself experiencing your emotional imbalance and you're overcoming that emotional imbalance, you're going to fall subject to your subconscious. This week seems like it's going to be very testing because you have a constant rhythm of self-sabotaging yourself with your emotions, okay? So you really, really need to be open to understanding that you need to stop this energy from happening over and over and over again. Catch your emotions during this week if you pick the Pluto deck, okay? Your shadow is hard at work right now because it knows that you are creating something very powerful in your reality. And in order to create that, it needs to overcome certain aspects of the self and burn away things that no longer serve us. In Qigong, you use fire to amplify your heart. You use fire to burn away wood elements in your gut or foundations in your gut that no longer serve you. When you think about the gut, you think about the sacral chakra. And when you think about the sacral chakra, that's tied to acceptance and the emotional center, the emotional body. What emotions do you have to accept? What energies have to be let go? Let them burn away so you can create other things, particularly what's in your gut and what is in your heart that you haven't let go yet, okay? That's keeping you in a loop. The heart is always going to be tied to the past. The gut is always going to be tied towards the ego, okay? So I really want you to focus on these energies right now. Then we have the cloud. There's something blocking your mind, not letting you see the full picture. And because of it, you might feel like you're walking in the dark or you're in a little bit of a funk. Don't let that be one of the things that stops you from hitting this energy. The cloud and the storm, they go together, okay? Because you see a bunch of clouds come when the storm is coming in. So the cloud has to do with your solar plexus and your mind, anxiety, fears. The storm is your sacral chakra, that energy that needs to be shifted, okay? So don't let your mind get the best over your emotions. You are, again, creating something, okay? You need to be focused on what you're creating. Whatever energy you're pumping out into the cosmos is what's coming back to you right now. Control your thoughts. Control your emotion. this loop of you, you know, having things in a certain way, and then all of a sudden, like, a test coming and kind of throwing you off your access is something that's common to you and normal. So you need to make sure that you do not let go of your manifestation. That's twice that the message has come in. Your loop, your emotions are blocking your manifest. Your mind is blocking your manifest. 2 manifest cards and 2 inner work cards telling you you need to transcend your emotions and your mind. Then we have 2 last cards here for you guys. We have the big. A big change is going to happen and is coming, is unavoidable. And the only way you're going to be able to overcome and really enjoy this massive change is if you put yourself in this position where you are just going to go with the flow. You're going to accept your abundance. You're going to accept the fact that you're creating. You're going to let go of your mind. You're going to let go of the expectations. You're going to let go of the emotions that are rising, because right now as well, your subconscious, your shadow, your inner child, your divine feminine, they are all kicked in right now, trying to not necessarily self-sabotage you, but they are going through a radical transformational shift within themselves. So you need to be okay to understand that internally you're going through a big shift, and externally you're going through a big shift. And it's not going to be easy, and that you need to be on top of your game. Finally, we have the rain. The rain telling you that there's a lot of refreshment that's going to be coming to you. The storm, the cloud, and the rain, they all come together very powerfully in this deck, telling you all about the shifts that are going to be happening, okay? The big, the create, and the fire are all telling you about this manifestation that's waiting for you only when you overcome your thoughts, your mind, and that which is not letting you create movement, because rain itself is movement, okay? Rain is tied to your ancestors. Rain is tied to manifestation, okay? So this energy right here is basically telling you straight up 100% that your manifestation is coming. Maybe spend some time connecting to your ancestors and transcend all of these limitations that are deep within. All right? So these 2 decks would have gone really well together, okay? The other thing too is that since this is a yin deck, this yin deck is also going to be connected to this dice right here, okay? So this dice is facing towards the northeast. You're gaining wisdom towards your future, and it's on the moon node, which is a subconscious node. That's why this is the divine feminine, the divine aspects of the feminine. These 2 decks are really connected, and as you can see, this has to do with the heart, right? Remember, fire has to do with the heart. The ascension, you need to find your sacred heart space and live there the next week or so, okay? But this deck right here is also going to be very in alignment with this energy right here of Mercury, and Mercury is going to be also connected here. Why? Because the heart chakra is tied to cellular growth, and Babaji is also talking about cellular growth here. Mercury is tied to the solar plexus, and this is the dice for the solar plexus. So now we're going to be picking up the Mercury, and Mercury is the divine wisdom, okay? This is Hermetica that we're going to be tapping into right now. And the dice right here, for the yellow dice for Mercury, is Rahu energy, okay? So it's basically telling you this energy right now is being forced into your reality so you can ascend, so you can grow, and it's going to force you to look at some darkness inside of your internal structures, especially to do with your mind and, again, your subconscious heart. Babaji is telling you that the light of eternity beams through all of my cells, okay? He's basically telling you that right now you should be thinking in we's, okay? You need to be manifesting as a collective. You need to really tap into the energy of the multitude, the expanse that is you, okay? Because you are a walking collective with every cell. Divinely manifest with every cell and watch your reality shift. Then we have Krishna. Krishna telling us to find the purest joy and happiness of this current situation. Every cell of yours, okay, through Babaji and Krishna, should be exuding purest joy and purest happiness, all right? These are the 2 energies that really take precedence right now. Then we have Kathumi, which is basically telling you I open myself to the source of all that is. So your cells have to open themselves to the source of all that is joy and happiness. That is your meditation right now. Then we have Hina, the I am timeless motion. When you learn how to exude this energy through every cell in your body, and you understand that this is the source in which you are eternally gathering yourself from, you're going to move beyond time itself. You're going to have an experience of transcendence. And because, again, when we talk about transcendence, that loot card really kicks in for the transcendence energy. Each tell is telling you I'm a warrior of consciousness. Okay, so you need to really step into your shadow or your subconscious mind, understanding that the subconscious mind is accessed through every cell of your being, and that if you choose as a collective, as cells all together, to manifest joy and happiness and understand that all the source is you, then you will have that shift of becoming a timeless being, moving beyond time and space as a warrior of consciousness. This past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, and there was a lot of like distortion of time. Like my partner and I ended up waking up very early several days in a row. We went on walks and we felt like we were out forever, came back home. We were only gone for all of like 30, 40 minutes. And it was a very disorienting vibration because you're so used to a different mode of time, but the collective consciousness was on this vacation vibe, and it distorted time as a collective consciousness, right? So you still have that power with yourself without having to manifest with other people. You can manifest with the multiple yous that exist. And then we have Astera. Astera steps in and she starts telling us that I'm one with my higher self. This is all your main focus. Your main focus is tapping into your eternal selves, being being one with your higher self, being higher with the source of all that is, being beyond time, mastering your consciousness by exuding love and joy and happiness through every cell of your being. There's a very clear energy right here, okay? So now that we have that in alignment and we understand that we're working with our subconscious and our mind towards ascension, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start looking at the Isis deck is what I'm hearing. So we're going to be stepping into Saturn. So if you pick the Saturn deck, your solar plexus and your root chakras are both going to be affected right now, as well as your crown chakra. If you also pick this deck over here, we also had the sacral chakra that was connected to this. So the sacral chakra and the heart chakra are very much so in alignment with a lot of the messages of these two. So originally, if you picked up this deck, you might have had some extra messages in here. If you ended up picking up this deck, you might have had some extra messages in here. And if you picked this deck, you're going to have some extra messages in here, okay? So that's what we're going to be tapping into, the Isis deck. The Isis deck is telling us that there's a deep secret, a divine power that has yet to be named and claimed by you. The only way you're going to find this power and come on top in your ascension and deal with that Rahu energy, that deep darkness inside of you, is if you choose to understand that this understanding of whatever dark aspect of yourself is only going to open up doors for you to expand and grow. So really focus on allowing yourself to do some shadow work during this month again, and to really expand with your consciousness. We have the divine sisterhood, community and spiritual sisters and brothers of light. So right now, in order for you to find that internal power, maybe meditate with a few people that you know, or choose to meditate as a community with yourself. When you meditate as a community internally, it can be very similar to meditating again with the community of your cells. Sometimes you do that combination of cell meditation with other people, your significant other, a sister, a brother, a best friend, and you don't have to be in person to do this. You can tap into this energy at any given moment with the divine sisterhood. Then we have the Queen of Heaven, which is basically telling us the blessings of the divine empress of the skies. You are being blessed right now to ascend, to change your mindset, to grow. And that mindset is also going to be tied into your throat chakra and your solar plexus chakra. People here are going to be working with not only hermetic alchemy here, which is going to be diving through the throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra, but remember, you're going to be dealing with the crown chakra, root chakra, and the solar plexus chakra. This energy is really important for you to dive into. We have the miracle of Isis, which is basically telling us that there's miraculous healing happening for you right now as you start stepping into this deeper, darker truth. The moment you step into this truth, whether it's from this lifetime or from another lifetime, you will be able to expand your consciousness exponentially. We have the scales of balance because this is tied to something to do with karma, okay? The ancient tantra of the soul. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand based off of your karmic value is that when you step into this life, you are free of answering your karma up until the age of 20. When you hit the age of 20, that's when your karma really comes in for this lifetime. So a lot of times when we go through a lifetime, a childhood up into our 20s where our life has been really full of struggle, right? That's karma from another lifetime. And when we hit 20 years old, we're creating new karma for this lifetime that dictates what happens to us between then and now. All right. So one of the things that you really have to understand right now is that your body is going through a shift of consciousness, scaling the balance, okay, and changing the scales of balance in your karma center, especially when you tap into this. The sooner you tap into this, the faster your scales are going to shift. Then we have the ancient power mysteries. Here, the rattle of Isis playing. These two cards right here, as you can see, it's the same little face that is located on both, okay? These two, there's a song, there's a harmony inside of you that must be unlocked. Think of yourself as a temple that is guarding the deepest secrets ever. Do a meditation where you see a temple in front of you open, and then you walk through that temple looking for whatever it is that's inside of that temple. And when you find a treasure, try to read it, analyze it, remember it, and even try to bring it back with you. That's going to really help you open up new levels of understanding. The brother in darkness, okay? Overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Again, this is going to be a subconscious aspect. It's going to be throat chakra. It's going to be shadow chakra energy. You need to understand that right now, you will not be able to move forward in your Rahu ascension energy if you do not embrace the darkness that's inside of you and neutralize it. All right? It's not saying, hey, I'm going to embrace the darkness and then, commend it, like for being super negative. I'm not going to give it like a prize for being negative. It's not about that. It's about understanding that it lives there and that you're going to do something about it. You're going to work your way through it. Finally, when you do that, you will enter the chamber of healing, healing the divine chamber of the Lady Isis. This is all about healing your Rahu energy, healing your shadow, healing the darkness inside of you. Your darkness may be fear. Your darkness may be an apprehension to your own growth. Your darkness may be a very negative aspect of yourself that you haven't ever shared with anyone. Whatever your darkness is going to be unique to you, and it's always going to be affecting your crown, root, and solar plexus chakra. The root chakra has to do with fear and safety. The crown chakra has to do with enlightenment and belief and being in your power beyond the third dimension. And the solar plexus controls the thoughts that are putting matter into a certain shape for you. So your secret is somewhat lying in those realms. Maybe that'll give you a clue as to what you need to look for. But this moment for you guys with the Saturn energy is really important to expand your energy, okay? So the final dice right here that we have left over is Neptune. So Neptune is the dragon deck here, and Neptune has to do with the third eye and your expansion of self, okay? So when we see Neptune down here, it's towards the south. Anyone who picked Neptune is going to be focusing a lot of your present, okay? Anyone that would have picked anything that had to do with the moon nodes, these two nodes right here, right? They're dealing with northeast and southwest, all right? So wisdom towards the future, overcoming something in the present that is linked to the past. Anyone who picked the Saturn Rahu deck, they're really dealing with the past, really towards the west mostly, and a little bit towards the present future. So right now, center yourself working with those time variables as well. So the dragon deck, the silver dragon illuminates for us your potential for higher light, access untapped resources, look into your soul, see higher possibilities. This is all soul alchemy energy, basically telling us right now, if you know any of the anti-alchemy of soul, you'll be applying that. The source dragon, it's basically telling you to tune yourself to the infinite, be still in the silence, magic can happen. Be in the moment, all right? So tap into your higher possibilities of your soul and just let yourself be attuned to the infinite. Because there's a pure white dragon of Orion letting you transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth, honesty, let your wings of light grow and expand. It's not just enough to be tapping into these energies, but you have to attune yourself and start living with that pure wisdom in every aspect of yourself. The yellow crystal dragon opens you to learning higher wisdom, expand your crown chakra for the illumination, walk the higher spiritual path. All right, so that's pretty still in alignment with everything we've read so far. The green dragon helps you with the secrets of nature, receive the answers and guidance from nature, align with your divine essence. All right, so basically we've been doing a lot of nature alchemy lately on Patreon, been teaching you all about like Greek alchemy, Native American alchemy, Atlantean alchemy, like Egyptian alchemy, stuff like that. The neurocodes, that's all in alignment with your soul expansion and tapping into the infinite energies and understanding your true profound nature. So reviewing any of those lectures that are provided for you on Patreon will help you tap into this energy even more powerfully. We have the air and fire dragon, which is basically telling us to expand your creative energies, harness your creativity,